All right. I think we got it. The computer froze up on me. Let me get chat up on my phone. Johnny, this is what I was going to ask. If I found this in my stash, it may be too big for you, but here it is compared to a comp journal. You could lose some of the bottom, but I'll send it to you if you think you would use it. All right, I got chat now. Hi, Gail. Hi, Kat. Hi, Joan. Ashley. Jersey. Sure. It is 10.5 inches almost, but like I said, you could trim a little off the top and the bottom, and it is 6 inches across at the widest. Yeah, I'll mail it to you. I'll look and see if I have anything else of that vein. I don't think I have a whole lot like that. This was from a painting that I had done for Bob, and I was using it as a color reference. So yeah, I'll send that to you. I'll put it in an envelope. All right. I got my stencils from Stencil Girl. I'll show you those first. They had a deal because it's Mary Beth Shaw's birthday month. And so if you bought 6 of the same size, it was discounted. So I got 12 6x6 because I wanted, I like this small scale. So this is one of the maps. It's a map of the sidewalks of Puerto Rico. She has like 3. And I just liked this one because I like that kind of marking, and I could do it easily, just a row of it with a stencil. So a good basic mark making. These are all Stencil Girl. I like this one. This one was kind of, again, that mark making vein and kind of mid-century modern. For mark making, I liked this little bit down here. It's a mask stencil. This was a scribbles. A lot of these they have in the larger size too. This was like a wisteria. There's several of these that are like this tangled grass. This was, I think, another map one. This was just sort of some scribbly circles. Okay. It's not my art, though. It's just a photograph. But I can share it on Johnny's page. I'm not going to charge anything for it. I'm going to just share the digital. Because it's not my photograph. It's not my artwork. This one was some writing I liked. This was another one that kind of had like mark making and maps. This one also was kind of mid-century, reminded me of like olives. And again, I would probably just more use like a row of it. And this one was another one that was kind of scribbled, kind of reminded me of like Patty's intuitive writing that she does, or Robin McClendon style. So I'm going to use those today and some paper. I finished Comp Journal 2. Well, basically finished. So this was a large 11 by 17 piece of paper that I jelly printed. And then I added like a little ephemera that I had from an old magazine cover. One of the Joan die cuts that she sent me. This is washi tape on the edge. Distress oxide or distressed ink through a stencil is on there just to kind of enhance it, and some washi tape. So here's how the cover ended up, which I really ended up liking that. You saw that. I'm going to do a quick flip. Yeah, the bird die cut. Okay, Elaine, I'll put it on Johnny's and Rosemary and Brooke's site so people can get it. I really liked how this one turned out in the end. Some of these y'all have seen. So I'll just do it real quick. But this is how I finished that one. That was the one we finished on stream last time. I still don't know about this one. I think it just needs a focal image. Same with this. And I did make scans of these, so I will be putting some digitals up of some of these backgrounds in my shop. And they'll still be on sale because right now if you buy $10 or more in the shop, it's 50% off. So like Kat the other day got 4 digis, which should have been $20, which ended up being 10. I'll stop when I get to one that's some of these pages stick. We did this one on the last stream. We added to it. So I intentionally left them kind of sparse so people could do stuff with them themselves to make them backgrounds. I might go through and put quotes when I'm all done. I added a turtle to this one and put a quote on it. We did this one on the last stream. I did this one the other night during the hop when Rosemary and them were on, and I just added some ephemera that I had. I finished this one on the when they were on the hop. I added this card that I had, but it was cut off, so it kind of worked out all right. Some stamps that I had gotten in Happy Mail, and this is from like a magazine. I added this, was a jelly print to this one. I didn't add anything to this or this. I did this one during the hop. I added, this is like a jelly print paper, and then I stamped with Distress Oxide, and then this was a jelly print that I had cut out. I started to make it a pocket, but these kept like fringing up, so I just glued it down. I did this one during the hop. I just added some vintage ephemera, and I had some little butterflies. Okay, this one I didn't do anything to, but I found this today, and I think I'm going to add this in there. I've already photographed the yumminess that's on this page, so I think I'm going to add some of this in there, here and there. I kind of just like it with the pieces missing in. I may just put it just like that on the one page. I'm not sure. So I am going to put that on that page. And then I found that I remembered this mask. And so I think I'm going to put this elephant, I'm going to put this mask down and put black paint and put this E. So somehow I think I'm going to make this elephant will be all this color, but everything will be the black. So I think I'll do that with an E somehow on there as an accent. Hi, Candy. Hi, Dottie. Are you feeling better to Dot? Hi, Carla. Like I said, a lot of these I just left as backgrounds. I found this and just added it. I don't even know if I like it. I stamped some more on this, but I think I want to go back in and maybe do black embossing powder so it'll show up on that. And then this is the back. I glued a jelly print that I had that had the tree. And then I did this is journal 1. And for those of you who didn't see it, journal 1 is a lot of the same thing. Like I just poured like sprays and scraped paint. And this journal, I did all my artwork to showcase pieces of my artwork, prints of my art. So that's journal 1 and journal 2. Journal 3 is over to the side. I'm just going to put paint in it. And I'm going to work on journal 4 because I'm obsessed with journal 4 now. And look how fluffy they get. So I did do a thing. I took, and I'm going to use this later. I'm not going to use it today. I cut apart Sticker Nation. I took an X-Acto blade and sliced all the pages out. And I think I'm going to use, I don't know if I'm going to cut them apart down into smaller pieces and maybe use baggies to put them like by alphabet or something. But they were always so hard to get out of the book when maybe I just wanted like one word, not the whole scene. So I didn't want to peel the sticker off. So I just sliced the whole book apart so that I could get to them and actually use them. So they're somehow I'm going to organize those in my stash. I have not varnished or sealed the pages yet. I'm not sure I'm going to on it. None of them are really sticking. All right, so today I have journal 4 and I have put, the way I started it is just with like inks, like Distress Oxide sprays. And I started off with pinks at the beginning. There's still some blank pages. And these I didn't glue together. And then I went into the yellows and the orange colors. And then I went into the blues. I haven't done any greens yet. But I want to go ahead and kind of show you what I want to do on the next step. So I pulled out, let me move these stencils. I've been watching Mary Beth Shaw, so I kind of want to get her luminous style, so to speak. So I pulled out a bunch of paper scraps to use. And I could have just kept going, but I'm really was looking for pieces that were on the smaller side, little strips, just little pieces that I've saved. And then what I'm going to do, without even really thinking too much about it, I'm going to glue these in places in the comp journal. Now this has got the blue and the brown in it. And I'm not going to worry about composition. Hi, Elaine. And hi, Eileen. All right, and I have deli paper already set to the side, and I'm literally just going to flip the pages. And I do kind of like, on some of them, I want to do tone on tone, and others I don't. And they might not be matchy-matchy. This one I might cut up when I'm done, like Paula did, down into like the a Midori size, or one of, a different size. I haven't decided. Colleen was funny today. Well, she's often funny. Like I said, I am not doing a whole lot of thinking. I'm just grabbing something that I like. It might be similar. It might be the opposite. All right, and then let's go back into the blue section. And if I don't like something I have, I can always cover it up later with paint. I don't, Candy, I missed the first part. Colleen was hilarious. I need some of that. I think I want some of that paper. I did not glue these together today, this time, Sophia. These are single page, but I think by the time I add the paint to them and the papers to them, they will be just fine. I will, but is it the Sizzix paper, Eileen? I was looking for it, and I found the Sizzix. I really wanted it bigger. And I bookmarked that site with the blog. Is it the Sizzix stone paper? Hi, CB. Okay, it's Tim Holtz paper. I'll have to look. I did find some Sizzix paper that I thought was maybe. Yeah, that's what it looked like, but I was hoping maybe because I thought it would be a really good journal cover. The other thing I have decided to do is I bought a vintage Webster's dictionary from Johnny. I'll show you. It's up here in the protected area. And I want to make a junk journal with this, and I want to use vintage papers. And I think I'm going to print photos from my ancestry.com that are in my family tree and use those photos and make it like maps from that area and everything about the Websters. Well, but I think I'm going to do multiple sides of my tree, and I thought I might even divvy up the book and make like little markers that hang out for different branches. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Eileen. Hi, Judy. Oh, I see that. I don't know, but I know somebody in here will know. I still have green to do, and I still have magicals. I just want it to be able to kind of do this paper. Digging through the paper's been on my brain, and moving, and then the stencils came, so I was like, ooh, that's a good reason to move to the next step. Let's try. And these are just like scraps. I have this big bin of scraps. Oh, I don't think I like that one with that. Hi, Sophia. Okay. Ooh, this is pretty. right. Getting close to being done with the gluing for today. All right. One more. I do like the thinner weight paper as opposed to the heavier. So that's enough of that for right now. There's other papers I definitely want to use. So I'm just going to set that stash to the side because you get the idea of how I'm using it. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do on these pages is I'm going to find kind of tone on tone. Paint and stencils. And I'm going to use mostly these new stencils. And I have all kinds of the Deco Art mixed media acrylics out. Let me see if I can scoot the camera in one more notch. Hi, Fiona. That's better. You can see the whole journal, but oh wow, that's good. That's real good. All right. This is quinacridone gold. Quinacridone magenta or red. I think I want to use a combination of those. I'm just going to stick in the red for the beginning. And this is English red oxide. And I'm just putting some of that out on my table. And I've got a transparent red oxide. And then I'm just going to take a sponge, makeup sponge. And these are areas where I want this color to pop. But I just want some tone on tone pattern. So it may not show up on my camera really well. I'll show you in just a minute. I'll hold it up a little closer. And some of this will get covered up. So what I'll do is when I go into the contrasting colors, which one on this one will probably be greens and blues, I'll leave some of this area, this color, so it kind of glows. And I'm literally just going to move to another. I'm going to stick with the ones that I glued right now. Okay. This just got in the paint, so let's just stick it in there. We'll use it in a minute. And I can use the same sponge. Oh, I like that. And this paint is kind of translucent. Okay, so I think that's good for that one. All right, this one has a tear and I did not take paper on there, glue paper. So I will need to come back in and glue something. Let's just use some sewing tissue right now. And a glue stick. I only had a couple tears. And then I'll put some paper on the other side too. I don't really want to cross the ditch on this journal as much because I think I might cut it apart. Let's find something with some. Looking for something with text on it. This was stamped. We'll use that. But that's how if that just tore because I was turning the page when it was super wet and I wasn't careful. That's my fault. But like I said, it'll get covered with paint and paper. There's one other little tear. Thank you, Fiona. It's sort of a mad journey. I don't know where I'm going to end up. And I don't care if this tears in my pages a little bit. It just helps me be able to move on faster. Let's do the more rusty color. I said, this is just an initial layer. So I have some areas where I can leave bright spots because I'm working lighter to darker. So first I'm starting tone on tone. Okay. And we have a stencil that picked itself out here. Part of the excitement about ordering all the new stencils is it won't be like things I've already used. That, for me, that's the best part about getting new stencils. Okay. That's got paint on it, so globs, so I'm gonna now you could dry as you go along, but I'm trying to kind of hurry up for the stream. And ooh, look, grungy stuff came off that. Grungy paint Okay. This has got a real geometric feel. So let's go with that. And I knew I wanted to use a lot of the quinacridone gold. Okay, now I'm going in. I've used most my reds, so I'm going to get rid of the pinks and the reds. I still have some quinacridone gold and probably some other, but I'm going to add a raw sienna. I think I'm going to add even a green gold, maybe, and a burnt sienna. And I think I had a raw umber. Hi, Marge. Okay. And I like that these are transparent paints for the most part, the ones I picked. I like that they're thin. Okay, that's good for a start. Okay. And then I'm going to take a wet baby wipe and kind of soften the edges. Now, I did not gesso any of this, so I have to kind of move quick because I did not. Mary Beth Shaw usually gesso, so, but because I went with the sprays, I don't have any gesso. Okay, liking that. You girls doing the iCads, you're doing a good job. See, this one's so just gently pour a little of the paper, but again, I'm not too worried. All right, so now I'm going to switch sponges and go. I still have some of those browns, but I'm going to put out turquoise. I still have the green. I'm going to put out some turquoise, sap green, Payne's gray, if my Payne's gray is still good. There it goes. It just had sealed up. And that was Prussian blue. I love Prussian blue. I think I'll actually go with a new sponge. All right. In fact, I think I'll use some Prussian blue on this one. Okay, and then I think I'm going to come in on this paper here with something. Just to bring it back, to push it back. And then I'm going to come in with some of that same color and put it in a couple other spaces where it doesn't have paint. So this is kind of how I'm going to add the secondary color. But I'll probably, when I go to do some of the others, I'll use another paint that's a little heavier. I want more coverage. I love these wisteria masks. They have seagrass, wisteria. They have, this is the one she came out with, the 12 by 24, but I don't need it that big usually. Okay, I think that's a good start to that one. Let's use, I'm going to go back to the Payne's Gray and the Prussian Blue. That sponge was too wet that first time. I think I'll put some green in there too. I'm going to go back to a city map. And this is like sap green. put this on and then I'll check chat. So on this one too, you can sort of see that they'll end up being this blue and this green before I go to the darkness. This needs some of that blue. I don't know how this will work in. Oh, sorry. I've got the paint so far over the journals kind of off. Sorry. I'll have to, I'll get this used up. We'll get that blue used up. Let's just put some blue in here. Then let's get some of the more of that green. It's darker over here. All right, so that puts some blue and some green on that page. Yeah, that's a mixture of sap, green gold, and a phthalo turquoise. Okay. back to this scribble. This doesn't have a lot of blue on it. Trying to use some of that up so I can move the page over. All right, I think that's good enough blue on there, and that gets most of that paint. I can scoot this a little more without getting in that paint. Okay, let's go back to the quinacridone stuff, maybe. I don't know. Let's use some turquoise. In some areas first. Throw a little green in there. I like how that laid over the light. So I'm going to grab some more. That green's got a little bit of burnt sienna in it here and there. And I think I'll grab some more of the darker. I'm getting kind of the back into the green and the brown. I'm even going to add a little bit of that Payne's gray. kind of a brown on blue. That's good. Hi, Julie. All right. This needs to be dark. I have dark umber. I'm going to put that out. And I think I'm going to use this. And then I'm also going to go back to the Prussian blue. Guess I'll use the scribble stencil. And then the brown. And how you lose a stencil that you just had. Back to some of the blue. And I think I'll make that darker brown in that corner. All right, I think that's good. All right, and I am out of the pages with paper, so let's just go back. I've got some brown paint. Let's go back to one of these pages that doesn't have paint. And we'll use up some of this paint. on the table. And I'm just moving around to different areas. That I think the glow might be in. That even picked up a little bit of blue on the corner. Let's go back to the pink area and tone down one of these pinky peach pages. Here's one that didn't get wax paper. There we go. Let's use up the rest of the paint on this. Looks like a lot of paint, but there's actually no paint. So let me wipe up that mess and we'll get the color, a little bit more color. Yeah, I like the graph. I bought 12. I bought a package of a dozen. Okay, I'm gonna go with the iron oxide and a little quinacridone magenta. And then I'm gonna shift the arc get the last little bit over here. Since it's, just blend that. This one I covered almost the whole thing. But like I said, this is just the beginning layers. So the next step will be to come back and add more opaque paints and darker layers. And I'm hoping that each time, like it may go dark to light. You know, I may end up, like my next step on this page will probably be a dark brown. And I might even end up, actually, I may end up doing some white, opaque white, and then coming back with a golden yellow. Now that I think of it, I'm tempted to get some pops of a golden yellow in here. And one of the ways that I might end up doing that if I need to is using some opaque white and then coming back with a translucent layer. I'll add papers to the other pages that don't have paper. I did rush, so I do have stickage if you dry a little before rushing. This is another one that might get a layer of like buttercream opaque paint or a raw sienna. And this might even need some like floral or Japanese. So the next layer, I'll probably do more medium layered stencils too and go through my stencil stash. See, like that had wet paint and a tear because it got in the, that got in the palette, but it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. It's just a comp journal. So over here, I'll put when I'm all done, then I'll do a cover and the inside. So I'll put something down to repair that. I have a, somewhere I have a pocket. Well, I had so this is probably what I'm going to do. Yes. Let's get that. Oh, no wonder I used the wrong glue today. No wonder it was glossy and stickier. I grabbed the wrong jar. So I'll put that there, and then I'll fold that over. On the page. And then I'll just trim that off later when it's dry. And that'll repair that little bit of a tear. And I can even add some of the extra tissue. Yeah, these are singles. On this one, I did not glue. No, I did not make any of the stencils that I used today. They're all new ones from Stencil Girl. So let's go ahead and we'll add this in here. Since we have I do have extra sewing pattern tissue that I am going to put some bundles in the shop too. If anyone is interested, I'm going to do that later this week. I've got 3 drawers full of tissue. Some of them are clothing. Some of them are like housewares, like bags and costumes and that kind of stuff. So I'll just do some assorted bags of tissue. Yeah, that's how I repair if there's a tear, Colleen. I had one earlier, and I know I have another little one that's real small. Sometimes when I have them really wet, I'll end up tearing them. See, there's one. And I didn't, and then there's the back side. And I know I have one other small tear somewhere down in here. It's from when I was turning it when it was wet. And then I still have pages that need layers of paint. And of course, spray and stuff. That I'll add to it. So that's kind of where this journal's going. Do you want some? Okay, Eileen. Like I said, I'll let everybody know. I'll put it in, and then I'll put it in like the in Johnny's and Brooke's groups. I'll post a link. I need to pull it out, and I'm just going to do it like by the, like a Ziploc baggie full. I might have some that are just like complete patterns with the whole pattern, but some of them I've pulled apart. So yeah, I'm loving just the freedom to not like, and I'm just doing background pieces. These will probably end up more abstract because I'm not going to collage on them like I normally do. I don't know that I'll do a whole lot of stamping. I might do a little bit of stamping on them before I go dark. But this will also help me use up some of the acrylic. I will put it on Twitter too. I'm trying to use up stuff in my studio before it goes bad. And This gives me fun play, and then I can post, I can post the digitals and stuff. And it's a break from the other stuff like pet portraits and that kind of stuff. Not that I've had any recently. These are going to stick bad because I used that wrong gel medium. And I'm just using the same deli paper over and over. I just have a stash of it to the side. And I just keep grabbing it and using it over and over. And it just gets layers of painty goodness on it. Some of these will end up becoming abstracts because they're getting so many layers of paint on them that they're getting some yummy goodness. But I'll cover up all that gloss gel with layers of paint for the most part. And if I have to, I'll just varnish it in the end with a matte varnish. I did get some of this, and I really like it. Where'd it go? Got too many bottles. It was a ultra matte varnish. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, no, it was a spray. It was a spray sealer. I got a gloss, but I got this one, which is a matte, and I really like it. I like it for the it's a little different on the alcohol ink because it doesn't get you, I don't get as bad of a glare. So if I have to, I'll take it out and spray some of the pages with something like this. Or the other thing that I've used is Deco Arts in the media line has a matte varnish that's really good. This stuff is really good too. It makes it feel like suede when you're done. It gives it like a really soft, buttery leather. Yeah, I use them a lot when I do the alcohol ink, you have to spray it to seal it. So I got both of these to try them out. And I guess I didn't even realize this one was matte. I don't know but I do like it. When you don't want that gloss, I do like it. So I like both of these sprays. I also use the Krylon. But I haven't used it, and I also use this when you want a hard gloss. This stuff is almost resin-like. Like if you want a super glossy, but I don't like the liquid. I don't like the stuff you pour and brush because to me it doesn't settle right. But I love this, like sprayed on a clipboard that you want to use, or like Johnny's journal boards, and you want it to be more waterproof and durable. These would be really good. Yeah, I know some people can't use sprays. So what I'll do is I'll go in and kind of dry these. And if I think that even after being dry, they won't stick. Oh, and this is the other thing I wanted to use in the one of the journals. I love paint chips, and I think I might use some paint chips in the end in this journal as some accent pieces or some tip ends, because I think they would make some neat tip ends potentially. But that will come towards the end. I got to go get more of them because I'm actually running out. I like to use them to label Happy Mail envelopes too sometimes. Like write on the address and then cover it with clear tape. CB. Just a second. It is Deco Arts Media Soft Touch Varnish. And it is super good because it's not gloss. It doesn't stick. And like I said, when it dries, it feels like a really soft suede. I would probably put, like, mine needs to be stirred. It's kind of separated. I hope it hadn't gone bad. No, it just needs to be. And this, I just use a brush and brush on. So, like, I could take a real thin, that's where that was being sticky, where that gloss was. And I could just put a little bit of a layer of that down. And I could work on it later again because it's a matte. Yeah, and it's a matte. The other matte that I like, Elaine, that might be easier to find is Deco Arts has DuraClear, and they have an ultra matte that's good. I don't think I have any more. This I didn't like. This sticks. This was sticky. I think I'm out of the ultra matte. I think I used it all up. I have two of the high gloss. When I do canvases, I like the high gloss. So that's why I tend to buy the high gloss or get the high gloss. But they do have an ultra matte that I like too for a brush on. But see, this is already dry. And it's not sticky at all. There's a little bit where it's still wet, you can see. Still wet on this side. So it dries pretty fast, but I tend to use it like when I'm done as a finishing layer if something's super sticky still. I think I'll just fold that piece over instead of trimming it off. I'm fixing to go, Colleen. CB, because we're fixing to have dinner. I'm gonna clean all this up and see what's up for dinner. I think it's gonna be a trip out of the house because I need to get out of the house. We've been every once in a while going through the drive-through of some place or ordering and picking it up just because we need to get out of the house. So what I'll do is keep working on the papers and stenciling and getting it all to that layer, and then I'll start in with that second color, and then the last color will be the darkest. And I think the more I add paint, the more I can kind of blend with the baby white, because it'll get those layers of acrylic. So that's it for me. I will be on Friday at 4, and then I go back to work August 3rd. So this week, 2 more weeks, and then I'll have to change my time from 4 o'clock to later in the day. Like I said, I have 2 more weeks off. I go back to work August 3rd. So after August the 3rd, I'll have to bump it to like 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern or something. And I may end up going back to just Friday nights and not Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll just see if we're online, what like the school will, what the school year will bring. I found out today my principal is leaving, and we're going to have a new principal. So we'll just have to find out what's going to be with the school year. Thanks, Joan. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And I will scan. I will photograph our little friend here, and I'll post the photograph so y'all can download it. I'll probably put it on a piece of black scrapbook paper when I photograph it, so that it has something, that you have a contrast to it. And then I'll mail the original to Johnny. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Today's Tuesday. I know maybe Beth is streaming tonight, maybe Mary. You can download it and use it in a journal. Johnny's going to use it in her Lotus 600-page journals that she's doing that are really big. And some other people wanted it. So it's an old photograph I had found and printed. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. I guess I need to go over here to turn the... Thanks for watching.